And so as a result of that, we're certainly excited about the game. And so this time I'll open it up to questions.
Ryan, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Craig, was your emphasis kind of to finish a game after two dramatic wins, and how pleased are you with that first half?
Really pleased with the first half. We wanted to start with a great tempo. We came in the first play, and we got a couple touchdowns there, and so I was certainly excited about that. I wish I could see you, Ryan, but our tech people don't have everything set, and I can't see anything that says this meeting is being recorded, so your face is obscured. I think they're going to get it set right now. There we go. I got you now, Ryan.
Josh, why don't you go ahead? Okay, Ryan, if you got another question here.
Craig, how did your defense respond in practice this week after, obviously they let Northern Illinois back into it a little bit? As you mentioned, 2 interceptions and really a strong performance, especially getting pressure on Plitt.
We're really pleased with our guys. They had a great week of practice. We got some super leadership out there, and we felt like Ball State had some better personnel than they were slightly better than Northern Illinois. So it's certainly great to be at home, but we came out with a fast edge. In the second half, I thought we did some good things. We milked some drives, but really was a complete game by our defense. And like I said, anytime you score twice on defense, that's outstanding.
Craig, obviously Valladay played well again. You have Swin in there as well, but what does McNeely add to this rotation you're trying to develop?
It's been great. We weren't able to get DeWine in the game last week. We had a plan to, and this time we were rotating backs, and we had 2 backs there, and Gordie Howe ran DeWine out there on a power play, and he scored a touchdown. And he runs with great forward lean. He's got a big frame. He doesn't have a lot of weight yet, but he just can pack a lot to the punch, and he's a hard guy to tackle.
Craig, it seems like Chad Mumma does this every week, but what's it like to have a guy like that leading your defense and to be a playmaker like you kind of had, in 16 with Logan Wilson and some other guys?
Right. Chad's really improved from last year to this year. He's gotten bigger. He's making plays in space. I mean, he's an excellent tackler, but I don't know. I think this is his second touchdown he scored, and then he had I don't know. His productivity, if you just looked at those productivity points, he's off the chart. He's having one heck of a year.
Hey, Coach, coming off of last week, how pleased were you just with the way that your team was able to go out there and finish the game, for all 4 quarters?
We talked at our team at halftime. I asked them what the score was, and it was not a sarcastic question. It was a question. They all said 0-0, so they answered the question right. We got to keep on playing with a hard edge, and we'll continue to do that. So we're well pleased. It's great to be at home. We kept on talking about our focus to be 1-0, and so we are 1-0.
Cody, I see you're on. Go ahead.
Yes. Sorry about that. Craig, is this the most complete game you've seen out of your team since, 2016 maybe?
I would say so. There were elements last week, Cody. I thought that we looked really good, but there was times this game that we looked explosive on offense. We tackled well on defense. We were explosive. We were really solid in the kicking game. So we're well pleased with our progress.
Defensive line had 4 or 5 sacks. How pleased were you just with the way that they were getting after the quarterback today?
Well, very pleased. We had spent some time with the Penn State coaches and talked to them, and Penn State had said that, they're a lot bigger and stronger and well coached, and they had, somewhat of a difficult time. And so the pressure on the quarterback was key. Even if he, didn't take a sack, he was moving around and was having to do things under duress.
Cody, go ahead.
Craig, I think I missed the answer to this, and I'm sorry, but what was the emphasis in practice for this defense this week? They sure came out firing.
Well, I think more than anything else, you've got guys with high character and have set a high bar for themselves. And so internally, they were disappointed with how they went and finished the game off last week. They knew that they could play well, but they kind of took their foot off the gas, and so that was a point of emphasis. I thought our guys responded well, and some people are going to say, well, I don't know. It seemed like Ball State maybe moved the ball a little bit in the second half. Ball State's a good offense, and so that was no small feat. I'm really happy with the progress we've made.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Craig, do you have a early diagnosis on Welch or any of the other guys that were nicked up?
Yeah, you know what? We're in hopes that we're going to have Trayton back. It was an ankle. It's not a high ankle sprain. So we'll see how he responds. Everybody's a little bit different, but it wasn't anything like an MCL sprain or a high ankle sprain. Hopefully he doesn't have a lot of swelling. He adds a lot to our offense, as you can tell. And so we're hoping to have him back for the UConn game.
Dwayne got in the mix today and was really effective. Is that something that we can expect to see a lot of moving forward?
Talking about Dwayne?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, DeWine really got in the mix. It's hard to have that many backs, and get them in the game. But we're able to spread those carries out. That allows us to have fresh guys in there. So he's a great asset for that running back group.
Cody, I saw you had a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, Craig, just 2 catches for 27 yards for Colin O'Brien, but it's his first 2 catches. It's got to make you feel good that you got another tight end in there that can make some plays.
Yeah, he's really improved during the course of this fall, and he's much more comfortable. Not only being a pass catcher, but a blocker. And so it's encouraging to see him come out and really excel. He did not play tight end when he was in high school. And so it's good to have him do what he's doing.
We got any more questions, guys?
Thanks a lot, guys. On to UConn. Try to get to 1-0.
Thanks, Greg.
They call me Mr.
All right, guys. We got Chad Mumma here. Josh, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Hey, Chad. So I'd say, probably the most complete performance from the defense. What was the thing that, you were most impressed with from the guys today?
Yeah, no, I was definitely impressed with our cover skills and also fitting up the run. And I think that our defensive line played tremendous. I mean, they were all over in the quarterback's pressure, and that just allowed, I think, the pass game a little bit for us to get a couple picks there. And I think that's really what shut them down, is just our defensive line's performance today. It was just amazing and just made it easy for the linebackers to run through holes and for just the defense to play as a whole.
Chad, what was practice like last week? You guys don't give up that many points ever.
No, yeah, definitely. And that was kind of what we looked at like on Monday. We went through all the plays that we kind of had trouble on fitting up. And so we kind of went through that Monday. And then Tuesday was a grinder with full pads. Thursday it was a grinder, and we were thudding during practice. And usually we don't thud throughout our practice during the game weeks. And so I think that's kind of what helped us out a little bit this year.
Chad, it looked like a couple series before your pick six, you nearly had one and some open space there. Just what was it like to do that again 2 weeks in a row, and also to see Keon do it? It's kind of like the old Wyoming defense from the Logan Wilson days, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it was awesome seeing Keon get his pick six. I know the whole defense was really excited and running together, and just excited for him. And then kind of on the other pick sixes, I think we just had great pressure all game where they had to kind of throw those quick checkdowns. And so it made it easy for myself just to kind of read that and read the quarterback, just because of the pressure that our defense was getting on. So I could just break fast on those quick little throws.
What does this say about your defense? Because Plitt is a really decorated guy, a 6-year senior. To chase him from the game has to be pretty gratifying.
It was super gratifying. We knew that coming in, that he was an accurate thrower and a good QB with a lot of experience under his belt. So the way that our defense played today was extremely well, and kind of just shows last week was almost like a fluke for us, and that this is the Cowboy defense that you should be looking for.
Chad, what does it do to the defense's confidence to go up there and see a 0 on the scoreboard at halftime, especially after what happened in the second half last week?
It's awesome, but the kind of same message that we were giving to all of our guys at halftime was, hey, it's 0-0 right now. We can't let up, because last week we had a big lead on NIU, and we kind of just let them come back into the game slowly. And so that was our biggest stress for the second half of this game is, hey, it's 0-0 still. We got to go out and still play the way that we know we can play.
Got any more questions, guys? All right, thanks, Chad.
All right, thank you guys.
Chad.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, next up, I got Ravante Holt. So, Cody, why don't you go ahead and get us started?
Ravante, congratulations on a big game, obviously. But I keep asking you guys, defense doesn't give up points like they did last week, and you guys kind of got gashed a little bit in that second half. What was practice like this week, and how did you turn it around?
Practice was we had a hard week of practice. We had the ghost periods, and we also studied in practice. And they focused on the intensity all week because of what happened last week.
Ravante, I think y'all had 3 sacks on the D-line coming into today's game, had 5 sacks today against Ball State. What would you say is the biggest thing that changed with that D-line this week?
Well, I mean, the preparation has been the same, but, we just been staying relentless, and it showed off today.
Ronte, Plitt is a really good quarterback, and you guys chased him from the game. How big was that play right before the half where he let you guys not only get the sack but the fumble, and that was pretty much all she wrote there?
That was a huge play. Our coaches this week was telling us how good the quarterback is, so our main focus was to get pressure on him and not let him set his feet.
You guys good? Got any more questions for Ravante?
Yeah. Ravante, how are you feeling, man? This is, you've missed a lot of football, and here you are 3 weeks in. You've been playing arguably your best football in a long time. How are you feeling?
Honestly, I feel amazing because, there was a point where I thought I wasn't going to be playing anymore. And like you said, now I'm playing my best football. And it's only going to get better, too, the more confident I get. So I'm just excited for the season.
Ryan, do you have a question?
I'll ask one more. Ravante, what's it like to see Mumma with the tail lights 2 weeks in a row? How big of a deal is that for the defense to score like that?
It's a huge deal. It shows how dominant our defense will be this year. And, seeing guys like Chad Mumma and Blankenbaker getting his first pick and take him to the house, it just puts a smile on my face.
All right, you guys good? All right, thanks, Ravante.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ravante.
Thanks, Ravante. All right, guys, next up, we got Keon Blankenbaker here.
What's up, y'all?
Ryan, go ahead, start us off.
Keon, Plitt is a pretty decorated quarterback, but he had a real struggle today against you guys. That first interception you had for the pick 6, did you kind of bait him into throwing that? Were you on that the whole way? Just take us through that play.
Yeah, really the whole way I kind of knew. I saw it coming before it came. We've been doing a lot of film study, and I know they like to throw those quick passes to the number 1 receiver. So I just went out there, broke on it, and I couldn't believe he was going to throw the ball myself. I was like, wow, you really threw it? So, but yeah, film study definitely helped out with that. So yeah, definitely.
It was a 3-point game whenever that happened, and then after that, it seemed like y'all just started rolling over them. What did that do for the confidence on the sideline whenever you took that one to the house?
Oh man, yeah, it turned the silent up for sure. Like you guys say, our defense have a lot of pride, so I just built off that and kept it going the whole rest of the game for sure.
Keon, this team not only has a great quarterback, they had 3 really good wide receivers. How'd you guys shut them down today?
We just played our technique, kept our eyes and feet right, and played ball. I mean, that's all we did. So it wasn't nothing special. We came into the game doing. So yeah, definitely.
What does it do for you guys when you guys pick up, I believe, 6 sacks today? What does that do for the defensive backs?
Helps a lot. We ain't got to worry about the double routes and stuff like that. So coverage makes coverage a lot easier for sure.
How much did Northern Illinois come back kind of refocus you guys after you went up 31-0 at halftime?
Repeat that. I'm sorry.
How much did blowing that lead against Northern Illinois kind of your second half attitude coming out 31-0 leading?
Yeah, we didn't want to have another week like that. We kind of just tried to keep our foot on the pedal and keep stopping them each down. The NIU loss, and I mean not loss, the NIU comeback definitely made us work a lot harder this week for Ball State. So, yeah.
You guys got any more questions? All right, thanks, Keon.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys, we got Sean Chambers next.
Ooh, we got a TV now? This is pretty sweet.
Josh, go ahead, start us off.
Hey, Sean, obviously a really strong performance for y'all. Since you've got here, where does this rank around among the most complete performances you've seen from the Cowboys?
Yeah, definitely. That was our game plan, as a team, not offense or defense. Our game plan was to go out here and have a complete game on both sides of the ball in all three phases. So I think we did a good job with that. I think we can even do better, and that's pretty scary to think about. We beat a really good Ball State pretty handedly today, and, we can keep going. We can keep improving. So that's pretty exciting.
Sean, how nice was it to be on the sideline at the end of the game instead of trying to pull out a third straight game in the last 2 minutes?
It was nice, although, the 2-minute drill is fun and all, it's good to not do it. So, no, it was definitely nice. I think we did a good job of going in there and handling our business in the first 3.5 quarters and, taking care of business and setting the tone. And, I mean, like I said, it was nice to just kind of relax on the sideline there.
Sean, this Wyoming defense gave up a lot of points last week, which is uncharacteristic. How special was it to see what they did today? And you saw their work behind the scenes all week too.
Yeah, it is special. Those guys are a prideful unit. They're known year in and year out as one of the better defenses in all of the nation. They're known as a team that's going to stop the run and get takeaways. So they were prideful this week. They knew they had to go to work, and I mean it showed today. I feel bad for the Ball State offense because the Chad Mumma and company had something to talk about and something to do. So.
Chad had eight different guys catch passes, 3 guys that ran for over 40 yards. How exciting is it just whenever you see the offense clicking and kind of getting everybody involved like that?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go back to fall camp here when I think you guys are asking about if we got guys. We've got guys. We've got skill guys. We've got guys that can make plays. I trust every single one of those guys, and that group is really, really special. They've been through the hard and the thick of it where people were doubting us as a unit. But now those guys work their butts off and they're reaping the benefits, really. Those guys, I can't say enough about them. They show up day in and day out in the run game, in the pass game, whatever it is. Those guys are, they're amazing. They really make the pass game go.
Speaking of guys, can you tell us about McNeely and what type of guy he can be in this offense?
Yeah, I guess, I think we've known the whole time that he's a special guy and that he's a really good football player. And I guess, I got to show Pokes Nation today. So, DeWine is a really, really good player. He's a big physical guy that can run really fast. So it was good to see him, break a tackle, bounce off, and, sprint to the end zone for a touchdown. That was awesome. I think that got us, going even more, increased our momentum even more. So it was really good.
Sean, you spent a lot of time, unfortunately, next to Ravonte Holt in the rehab room and the training table. What does it mean to see him come out and get 2.5 sacks and see him play the way he's playing right now?
That's the Ravonte I know. That's the Ravonte that people should be scared about to play. That guy wreaks havoc and he causes problems in the run game, pass game, you name it. That guy is a good football player, and I'm so happy to see him going out there and succeeding.
You guys good? No more questions? All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Sean. Go ahead, Frank. All right, guys, last guy here, Frank Crump. Cody, go ahead and start us off.
How you doing, fellas?
Big Frank, what's up, my man? Congratulations.
Appreciate it, Cody.
I guess just today, was this one of the most complete efforts you've seen since you've been on this team?
For sure. We ended on our own terms this game, which is something we can't say about the last two. We were in 2-minute drives, so it felt nice to win it with that kind of margin, with the score.
Frank, the running game has been pretty solid all year with X and obviously Swin, but McNeely adds an even different element to it. When did you notice this year that he might be a factor?
I mean, I think we saw it his freshman year. I mean, he's an athletic guy, big guy, and I think he's going to be a big back for us in the future. And he's paving his own way right now, kind of working his way up through the ranks.
Hey, Frank, beat the MAC champions by 33 points today. How would you gauge the confidence level of this group heading into UConn?
I think our confidence is there, but I think we're staying humble as a group. We after the game we're talking. We still got a lot to improve on, even with that win, which is that's it's a good thing to be having.
Frank, this defense did not play like a Cowboy defense last week in the second half. You had to face them all week in practice. What was it like to see these guys probably very invested this week, I would imagine?
Yeah, I'm really proud of our defense this week. All last week, it was a point of emphasis. They really stepped their game up, and that was a fluke, last week. And they played how they normally play and, held it down. And 12 points, that's pretty good. It's going to set the offense up for a lot of wins,
Frank, obviously you guys had that 4th and 1 at Northern Illinois and it didn't work out and that kind of flipped it. How much did Northern Illinois' comeback kind of fuel the motivation during the week and also at halftime?
Yeah, that game, that momentum shift was crazy. That was probably the craziest momentum shift I've ever been a part of. But, we won that game. We finished strong, and, it's something that we're obviously good at is finishing a game. But it wasn't, fairies and butterflies, as Coach Bull would say, after a win. It wasn't. We had a lot to improve on after Northern Illinois, and I think we hashed some things out, and it showed this week.
You guys got any more questions? All right. Thanks, Frank.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you
Frank.
guys.
You guys good? All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Nick.